Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine a place where ancient traditions aren't just sort of preserved, but they're actively thriving alongside really rapid modern development. And all this is set in a challenging, often quite arid environment. That's Rahim Yar we're talking about, a truly fascinating district down in southern Punjab, Pakistan. So today, our mission is to really dig into your sources and, uncover what makes this place tick. Everything from its unique geography to its evolving economy and its really rich cultural tapestry. How does a region navigate being at such a dynamic crossroads, maintaining its identity while pushing forward?
That really is the core question, isn't it? What's immediately striking when you look at the sources is Rahim Yar strategic position. It's just so central. It's not just another district. It's like a vital artery connecting Punjab with Sindh and Balochistan. And this isn't just a line on a map, It's a foundational element that has shaped its entire identity, creating this blend of deep-rooted heritage and, frankly, surprising modern dynamism. It's quite something.
Yeah, and when you start to explore its physical landscape, you quickly understand just how much that location influences everything. The sources show this really fascinating tripartite geography. It's almost like three zones. You've got the incredibly fertile riverine area right up against the Indus River, just bursting with life. Then, moving away from the river, there are these extensive canal-irrigated lands, meticulously engineered, really, to sustain huge agricultural output. But then, almost abruptly, you transition into the massive arid Khalistan Desert to the south and southeast. It's quite a dramatic shift, isn't it?
It absolutely is. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, well, this kind of diverse landscape isn't just scenic. It really defines the district's potential and its challenges. I mean, think about it. You've got extreme climate variations, different levels of access to water, totally different ways the land is used. This diversity, plus its borders with Muzaffargarh, Bahawalpur, Sindh, and Balochistan, it creates this kind of ecological and economic patchwork. This isn't just a district, it's almost like a microcosm of Pakistan's varied terrains all in one place.
Okay, so moving from the land itself to the heartbeat of Rahim Yar its people, we see a very similar story of fascinating diversity playing out. This is one of Punjab's most populous districts, definitely. Home to, bustling urban centers and these deeply traditional rural communities. What's really striking is the linguistic richness. I mean, Saraiki is dominant, yes, but you'll also hear Punjabi, Urdu, Sindhi, and Balochi quite commonly. And whilst Islam is the major religion, the sources also highlight the presence of smaller Hindu, Christian, and other minority communities. They all contribute to this really rich cultural fabric.
Which, this raises an important question. How does this blend of demographics not just sort of coexist, but actually create such a distinctive cultural tapestry? The sources consistently emphasize the people's renowned hospitality and these incredibly strong community ties. You see that mentioned again and again, especially in the rural areas. Traditional lifestyles aren't just preserved like museum pieces, they're actively lived. They form the bedrock of daily existence. It really suggests a society that values connection and heritage very deeply, even as parts of it are rapidly urbanizing.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how the district's vibrant community life, like we just discussed, is so intrinsically tied to the land. Because when we talk about what truly underpins daily life and livelihoods here, we're talking about agriculture. It's the absolute backbone, no question. The district is a powerhouse for specific cash crops, particularly things like cotton and sugarcane. These are critical inputs for the local textile and sugar industries. But beyond those, you'll find extensive cultivation of wheat, rice, and dates too. And it's not just about crops. Livestock and dairy farming, they contribute significantly to rural incomes, really underpinning the daily lives of so many people.
Right. And that agricultural foundation isn't just about, raw output. It's directly fueled the district's industrial evolution. What's genuinely interesting here is that Rahim Yar isn't merely a producer of cotton and sugarcane, it's actually becoming a significant processing hub. The sources point to numerous sugar mills and cotton ginning factories, which add considerable value right there at the source. That's a crucial shift, isn't it? From mere production to processing power. So this makes it an emerging center for smaller industries, trade, and services, too. It showcases a real dynamism in its economic profile, moving beyond just farming.
And looking towards the future, Rahim Yar is clearly making some, strategic investments in its people and its human capital. There's been really rapid and significant growth in educational institutions there. The sources highlight several universities, including engineering and medical colleges, which, isn't something you see in every district. That's quite significant. On top of that, you have a mix of schools offering both Urdu and English medium instruction, branches of national school chains, and also vocational institutes specifically geared towards developing modern skills.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is how this educational expansion isn't just about literacy rates, right? It directly supports the development of a modern workforce. It's about preparing the district for a more diversified future, beyond just its traditional agricultural base. It feels like a very deliberate effort to create new opportunities for people.
And it's all connected, quite literally. The transport infrastructure seems key. The city's location is strategically placed right on the main Karachi-Peshawar railway line. That makes it incredibly accessible for both goods and people. It even boasts its own international airport, Sheikh Zayed International Airport, which links it directly to major Pakistani cities. Plus, you've got a robust network of well-connected highways and regional roads. So, getting around or getting goods out seems remarkably efficient, according to the sources.
Exactly. This robust infrastructure isn't just about convenience, though. It truly facilitates the movement of goods and people. It boosts trade, boosts travel. It really solidifies Rahim Yar Khan's role as a regional nexus, not just geographically, but economically too, connecting it to the entire country and potentially beyond.
Okay, let's step into the cultural realm now, because this district seems to truly shine here. It presents this really vibrant blend of modern and traditional lifestyles. When you explore the sources, certain sites really stand out. The Bong Mosque, for instance, the descriptions talk about it being a masterpiece of intricate architecture and artistic calligraphy, just a stunning example of regional craftsmanship. Then there's Patem Minara, this ancient tower with significant archaeological importance. It's believed to date way back to pre-Islamic times. It sort of whispers stories of an even older past, you know. And of course, there's the vast Khalistan Desert itself. It isn't just a backdrop for desert safari tourism and those exciting Jeep rallies. It's actually home to a unique, resilient, nomadic lifestyle, a living testament to human adaptation in one of planet's most arid environments.
Mhm. And this cultural richness isn't just found in the structures or the landscape, it's very much alive. The district celebrates a whole variety of vibrant traditional events. You've got lively festivals, large community fairs, they call them malaz, and these deeply spiritual Sufi gatherings, too. These aren't just dates on a calendar, they're apparently celebrated with immense enthusiasm and passion. They truly seem to embody the district's deep cultural spirit and that collective identity we talked about earlier.
Let's talk about the climate, though, because it isn't just a background detail. It sounds like it fundamentally shapes daily life. Rahim Yar Khan experiences a pretty extreme arid climate. Summers are intensely hot, often soaring above 45 degrees C, that's 113 degrees Fahrenheit, really baking. Winters are mild and dry, generally pleasant, but rainfall is pretty scarce overall. It mostly happens during the monsoon season. And sandstorms are also quite common during those hot months, especially near the desert regions. So it's this constant negotiation with the environment, isn't it?
It absolutely is. This arid climate, it's not just background noise, it's a fundamental force shaping life there. It dictates everything from, say, crop selection, which explains why you see so much water-efficient cotton and dates, to daily routines. I imagine much of life probably pauses during those scorching summer afternoons. It must create a very unique rhythm to life.
I'm thinking about lifestyle. There's this distinct yet somehow interconnected contrast between city and rural life. The urban areas sound like they're rapidly developing modern shopping centers, restaurants, hospitals, parks. Yet the sources say they somehow managed to retain a sort of small-town charm. So there's this fascinating mix of modern amenities and traditional values right in the city centers. And then out in the rural areas where most of the population still lives, people are primarily engaged in farming, livestock, and small-scale businesses. Villages are typically described as self-sustained, with their own local markets, schools, and basic healthcare units.
Yeah, and what stands out here, reading through the material, is that despite these varied lifestyles, cultural values like hospitality seem deeply rooted in both urban and rural settings. It helps create a remarkably cohesive community, it seems. The sources also highlight expanding healthcare facilities, which is important. They mention significant teaching hospitals. That's vital for a growing population and definitely reflects an investment in public welfare.
So what does this all mean for you, our listener, trying to grasp this place? Our deep dive into Rahim Yar Khan reveals, well, a truly vibrant district that seems to masterfully blend tradition and progress. From its foundational agricultural strength and these fascinating historical sites, to its continually growing educational and healthcare systems, it's clearly a region brimming with both potential and this cultural richness that kind of defies simple categorization.
Which I think raises an important question for us to consider as we wrap up. What can we actually learn from a place like Rahim Yar Khan, a place that simultaneously preserves ancient traditions and embraces rapid modern development, especially given its challenging environment and that really key strategic location? What does its unique journey reveal about the resilience and adaptability of communities at these critical crossroads? And maybe how might that understanding apply to other places around the world that are navigating similar transformations today? It's something to think about.